Michigan lakes that pull people under. Michigan has more fresh water than almost anywhere else in America. The lakes are everywhere, small ones hidden behind tree lines, wide ones that look like oceans. Locals grow up swimming in them, fishing them, trusting them. The water becomes background noise, something familiar and harmless. That trust is the problem, because some Michigan lakes do not let go. People don't talk about it openly, but search long enough and the same phrases repeat. Strong swimmer, clear weather, no signs of struggle. The official reports always sound calm, professional, final. Accidental drowning, medical episode, panic in deep water, case closed. But the pattern never changes. Someone enters the lake keeps them. It happens most often in the northern half of the state, where forests press close to the shoreline and towns thin out. The lakes there are darker, colder, deeper than they look. Sunlight dies quickly beneath the surface. Even on bright days, the water holds a heavy green-black tint, like something dissolved into it long ago and never left. Locals learn which lakes to avoid. Outsiders do not. One of those lakes sits several miles off a two-lane highway, hidden behind pine trees and marsh grass. There is no official beach, no lifeguard, no dock worth mentioning. Just a rough dirt turnout and a narrow path leading to the water. On maps, the lake has a name. Locally, it is called something else. The Pull. No one remembers who started calling it that. On the surface, the lake looks peaceful. Calm water, no visible current. On hot days, it reflects the sky perfectly, giving the illusion of depthlessness, like a sheet of dark glass laid across the forest floor. People underestimate it instantly. That is another part of the pattern. The first recorded drowning happened decades ago. A teenager, strong swimmer. Grew up nearby, dove in on a dare, never came back up. Search teams dragged the lake for days. When they finally found him, he was deeper than expected, wedged against a slope that shouldn't have been there according to old depth charts. After that, the drownings came slowly. One every few years. A fisherman who slipped, a couple swimming at dusk, a visiting college student, always the same story. Calm conditions, no storms, no visible reason. Then the gaps shortened. People began disappearing without witnesses. One moment laughing at the shoreline, the next gone. Shoes left behind, towels untouched, phones dry on the sand, as if the lake took them politely without struggle. Divers eventually refused to enter the water, not because of visibility, because of sensation. Those who went down described the same thing. At around 15 feet, the water temperature dropped sharply, far colder than it should have been in summer. At 20 feet, pressure changed in a way they couldn't explain. Not deeper. Wrong, like the lake thickened. And below that, they felt it. A pull that did not come from below, but from all directions at once. Not a current. Not suction. Something closer to gravity, localized and selective. It did not affect debris the same way. Leaves floated freely, rope behaved normally, but human bodies drifted differently. Heavier, slower to rise, easier to lose. Several divers reported the same terrifying moment. A sudden sensation that the lake had noticed them, that the water was no longer passive, that staying any longer would be a mistake. Most surfaced shaking, a few quit diving forever. One diver did not come back up. After that, official searches stopped. The lake was quietly removed from recreational listings, no signs were posted, no fences built. The state did not want attention. Locals did not want questions. But people kept coming, because Michigan lakes are advertised as safe, beautiful, refreshing, because travel blogs don't mention the ones that pull people under, because curiosity is stronger than warnings whispered by strangers, and because once you enter the water, it feels normal at first. The surface temperature is comfortable. Buoyancy feels right. You float easily. For a moment, everything supports the lie that nothing is wrong. Swimmers describe feeling relaxed, even peaceful. Just before it happens, then the resistance begins. Not strong enough to panic immediately, just enough to notice. A kick that moves less water than expected. An arm stroke that feels heavy. People often think they're tired, or that the water is colder than they realized. They slow down, float, try to recover. That is when the lake tightens its grip. Witnesses who watched from shore describe it the same way every time. A swimmer stops moving forward. Their head dips lower in the water. Their arms paddle harder, but achieve nothing. There is no splashing, no thrashing, just a quiet, awful realization spreading across their face. They are being pulled straight down. People scream sometimes, but sound carries poorly across the water. By the time anyone reaches the spot, there is nothing to grab. The surface smooths itself out quickly, hiding the violence beneath. The lake does not ripple long. It does not advertise. Bodies are not always recovered. When they are, the details disturb even experienced examiners. No defensive injuries, no waterlogged lungs consistent with panic thrashing. Instead, signs of prolonged submersion without struggle, as if the body accepted what was happening, as if fighting was pointless. Researchers proposed explanations: cold water shock, underwater springs, sudden drop-offs. But none accounted for the consistency, or the way victims were always found deeper than predicted, or the strange fact that equipment lowered into the lake behaved normally while people did not. One theory circulated quietly among locals. The lake was formed over unstable ground, a sink system beneath the basin, a slow breathing collapse that created downward pressure in cycles. The idea never held up scientifically, but it felt closer to the truth than anything official. The older residents told a different story, one that never made it into reports. Long before the lake had a name, before roads cut through the forest, the area was avoided. Native warnings spoke of water that did not reflect the sky properly, of lakes that fed on movement, of places where the ground opened downward, not as a hole, but as a hunger. Settlers ignored the warnings. They always do. Logging camps were built nearby. Workers swam to cool off. Some did not return. The lake earned its reputation early, but reputations fade faster than danger. New people arrive. Old stories get labeled superstition, until someone disappears again. In recent years, the pattern has spread. Other lakes, different counties, same details, same reports. Strong swimmers, calm days, no explanation. Search trends quietly reflect it. People type questions late at night. Why are Michigan lakes so dangerous? Unexplained drownings, Great Lakes region. Pulled underwater lake. They do not like the answers they find. Survivors are rare, but they exist. Those who escape describe the same final moment. A sudden, overwhelming certainty that the lake wants them below. Not violently, not angrily, patiently, like gravity remembering its job. They describe seeing darkness beneath them that does not match the lake's depth. Feeling fingers around ankles that are not hands but pressure points. The realization that if they stop moving, they will sink faster. Some say they heard nothing. Others say they felt something listening. Afterward, survivors cannot swim comfortably again. Pools feel wrong. Bathtubs feel too deep. They avoid water instinctively, even rain-heavy air near lake shores. Doctors diagnose trauma, anxiety, panic disorder. None diagnose recognition. The lake does not chase those who leave. It waits. As of now, the lake still exists. No fence, no warning sign, just trees, water, and silence. On calm days, it looks inviting. Families pass by without stopping. Teenagers swim elsewhere. Most people never learn its name, and that is how it prefers things. Michigan has thousands of lakes. Most are safe. Many are beautiful, but a few behave differently. They pull downward instead of letting go. They take without drama. They leave no evidence worth arguing with. If you stand on the shore long enough, you might notice something else. The water near the center never ripples quite the same way, as if something beneath it is breathing slowly, deeply, waiting. Because some lakes are not empty, they are full, and they are hungry.